welcome to the very first episode of Monster Madness!
Yay! Who's excited?
I'm excited.
Dobby's excited.
He is excited.
He's right here on the couch with us, and he's super into it.
All right, so to explain a little bit more about how Monster Madness works, so throughout the month of March, we're going to be taking the top 8 cryptids that have been suggested by all of our listeners, and some that I just put in because I like them.
Yeah.
And we're going to be pitting them against each other in hypothetical one-on-one battles. So I'm going to describe, the cryptid, its folklore, and then we're going to, talk about who would win in a battle of cryptids.
Yeah, not just like a physical fight,
yeah,
right? Like an overall,
just an
which
overall,
is better.
which is it could be a physical fight. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a battle of the cryptids. Which one would come out as the winner?
Okay.
So after each episode is over, we're not going to be the ones that get to pick who moves on to the next bracket. Y'all are. So after each episode, you're going to be given the opportunity to vote on the cryptid that you want to win the battle. And the one with the most votes is going to move on to the next round of competition. Mm-hmm. So after every episode, the same day, we're going to be posting links on our social media for voting. There are going to be 2 battles per episode, so make sure you click the link, vote for both of the battles, etc. It should be pretty simple. I think I'm going to use a Google Doc kind of survey situation. So look for those links as soon as this comes out. Once you're done listening to it, they should be up on Facebook and Twitter. I don't know if I can link anything in Instagram, but
I don't think you can. Yeah.
It'll be on our Facebook page and in the community chat. So if you're interested, go vote there. And for every episode that you vote in, you are going to be entered to win a Southern Spirits merch prize pack.
Yay.
So that prize pack is going to consist of a Southern Spirits t-shirt in the size of your choice, a mug, and podcast stickers.
Yay.
So that's going to be before anybody else can get them because our store has not launched yet, but it should after all of this is over. So
I do want to bring something up real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
You said there are going to be 2 per episode. There's 2 per episode in just this one, right?
No, in all of them, right?
In this one and the next one, I think, because this is the round of 8. So we're doing 4 this week, 4 next week, and then oh, you're right.
Yeah,
and then it'll be the final 4 will be the 3rd week, and then the 4th week is the last one.
Baby, you're the one that came up with this bracket.
Yeah, but I forgot. And then we're going to do that 4th one, and then we'll announce the winner later on.
Yes, because we might even go live on Facebook or something to pull the winner, because I'll, either do a random number generator or put them all in the Crown Royal bag. I don't know. We'll figure out the prize drawing situation later, but everybody is eligible if you vote, and for every time you vote, please just once per episode, for every time you vote, we're going to put your name in the metaphorical hat, whatever that hat happens to be, and so you get an opportunity to win some awesome swag. So
that's exciting because I don't even have any of that swag.
No, I mean we do have actually t-shirts, but we don't have mugs yet, and we do have the stickers because obviously we have the stickers. So.
We have Patreon t-shirts, but we don't have other t-shirts yet.
No, but I do have design. It's really cool. It's my Instagram logo. But anyway, at any rate, it's gonna be really cool, and I hope you enjoy it. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce all of our contestants for this year. If we decide to do it again, I don't know. We'll see. If it works out this year, we'll continue. But for this tournament, our contestants are, drumroll please.
I don't have the soundboard hooked up, so
man,
you know that it's closed,
dude. Like the one time that sound effects would actually be useful on this show.
Well, I fucked up.
All right. Well, so our contestants are, and this is in seed order.
Okay, so number 1
is the Popobowa.
I've never even heard of that.
Nope.
I have no idea what that is.
Number 2 is the Kongamato.
Never heard of that. Are you making these up?
No.
These are your concoctions, aren't they?
No. Number 3 is the Mamlambo.
No, this is bullshit. You're making all this shit up.
Number 4 is the Ogopogo.
Okay, I've heard that, but I don't know why I've heard that.
Number 5 is the Grey Man of Binbakadui.
Nope, never heard of it.
It sounds like a DuckTales, like a DuckTales character. Anyway, number 6 is the Ningen.
Never heard of it.
Number 7 is the Fresno Nightcrawlers.
Don't believe I've heard of it.
And number 8 is the underdog of this entire situation, but I was strongly suggested to put this in the bracket, all the way from Mobile, Alabama, the Crichton Leprechaun.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, the Leprechaun's going to fucking win. If y'all don't know that, y'all, please go look that up. There's no way you haven't seen it. They don't have to
look it up because I'm about to tell them.
But it's the one that everybody's seen the Leprechaun say, yeah.
Yeah.
It's that one. And y'all, please, God, if you haven't seen that.
Dude, don't. Spoiler alert.
All right, well, let's get started because we got 4 stories to get through. So.
All right, so our very first cryptid of the evening, we're going to do the Popobowa versus the Crichton Leprechaun.
Okay.
So at the number 1 spot, we're talking about the Popobowa. So the Popobowa, that's really hard to say.
Yeah.
It is sort of native to the Tanzania area of Africa, and it is an evil spirit that... Excuse me.
Oh.
It sort of lives on the island of Pemba, and it has caused lots and lots of panic and terror over the years because it is something that the population in that area strongly believes in. The Popobowa has bat-like features, but it has one eye. So think giant cycloptic bat. And it's... sort of leathery looking. It's bat. It's a big weird cycloptic bat. And in Swahili the word Popobowa means bat wing. But the Popobowa is not just a bat. It's also a creepy ass shapeshifter. It can take human form, it can take animal forms. It just does whatever. It's like an evil spirit kind of thing. And it sort of terrorizes people at night. And it generally is associated with like a stanky sulfur kind of smell.
Stanky sofa.
Stanky
got one of those
smell.
In here.
No, the stanky sulfur kind of odor. Yeah. And it attacks everybody. It's not particular. It'll attack men, women, children. Everybody gets attacked.
Oh,
and
that's good of it. Yeah, that's decent,
right? And it sort of the attacks range a lot. It can range everything from like messing with your house, or sort of like poltergeisty kind of stuff going on, or what's worse, it sexually assaults people because it's an asshole.
I don't like it.
So during Popobowa panics, which happen decently frequently in that area, people will get together in the community and like start bonfires and spend the night like with someone watching, just to make sure that no one gets like hauled off and taken by a Popobowa. And it's, an actual fear, like it is a legitimate fear of the people in the area. The Popobowa is not seen as like a sort of a ha-ha, Bigfoot, ghosty kind of situation.
It's not a folk thing.
No, it is a legitimate fear of these people. And so, yeah, that's the Popobowa. He's a big, evil jerk of a rapey bat. That's the best. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep, so that is our Popobowa.
Well, I already don't like it. Number 1 may be going down, y'all.
And versus the Crichton Leprechaun. Okay. So it's also known as the Mobile Leprechaun, the Alabama Leprechaun. Everybody's seen a leprechaun say, yeah. So the sighting of the Crichton Leprechaun happened in the Crichton neighborhood of Mobile, Alabama. It happened in 2006, around St. Patrick's Day. And a local media... I think it was I wrote it down here somewhere. WPMI TV, just the local NBC station, had heard people talking about, there was someone dressed as a leprechaun, someone sitting up in the tree in the neighborhood. And there was a special reporter named Brian Johnson, and he heard about a lot of crowds gathering around in that area, like looking up in the trees. And so he was like, okay, let's go out. And they started doing interviews with these people that had seen this leprechaun sitting in the tree. And one lady, Nina Thomas Brown, submitted an amateur sketch of the leprechaun, which is priceless, y'all.
It is.
And they also interviewed a lady, and the lady was like, it could be a crackhead.
Done got hold of the wrong stuff.
Hold of the wrong stuff, exactly. Someone else brought out a special leprechaun flute that he said was thousands and thousands of years old.
Leprechaun flute.
It was just a piece of PVC, y'all.
Yeah.
And yeah, so basically they just kept talking about this leprechaun
flute.
And people have auto-tuned it. People have memed it all sorts of ways. It has become an absolutely ridiculous sensation. It got attention on all of the stupid news shows. So occasionally you'll see it every St. Patrick's Day around here because people still think it's funny. Recently it was on a beer label from a beer out of New Orleans, right. I think. It was really cool. That's right. But just as a little weird debunking of the Crichton Leprechaun, as if that needed debunking, but
spoilers.
In 2014, there was a radio show out of Dallas called the Bob and Dan Show, and they sent out reporters to the area of Crichton, and they were just talking to the people, just interviewing like the people in the neighborhood, and they explained it. Apparently, there was a local resident who was an African-American dwarf, and they call him, quote, Midget Sean. And the interviewers
I don't know why I find that so funny, but god damn, that's funny.
Yeah, no, they found him and they interviewed him, and he calls himself Midget Sean, by the way. It's not, I don't mean that in a derogatory term at all, but he said that he had a friend that like thought it would be funny to play a prank on the community, so he got dressed up as a leprechaun and he climbed up in the tree, and his friends started making like a commotion, like, oh my god, there's a leprechaun in the tree, and he was dancing around acting all crazy, and then he left before the news crew showed up, and thus the Crichton Leprechaun was born.
Right.
So
it was all Midget Sean.
It was all Midget Sean.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, y'all, I think we may have an upset in our midst.
All right, so in the battle versus the Popobowa or the Crichton Leprechaun, Mitchell, who do you think wins?
I don't give a fuck. I think it's the Leprechaun. And y'all, we don't decide unless there's a tie. We'll decide if there's a tie.
Yeah.
But the Leprechaun made me laugh. I will always pick humor over some other kind of power that it might have.
But the Popobowa can literally pick people up and carry them away.
It can do anything, but Midget Sean is welcome in my house anytime.
But it has all of these powers, and it can cause paranormal things to happen in your life. It can literally scare the shit out of an entire neighborhood. It's
Midget Sean can make me laugh till I shit. I'm good with that.
All right, so clearly Mitch has a forerunner here.
I have a favorite, y'all, and I'm sorry if I'm upsetting someone, but I really don't care. I want that to happen so bad. I really want the Leprechaun to win.
Okay,
but it's not up to me, so...
No. Well, I'm on the Popobowa side. Mitch is on the Crichton Leprechaun side.
Yeah.
Y'all got to decide.
Y'all do. But, oh man, I love it. I just didn't know a few more details.
Yeah.
That's what really put it over the top for me. Oh, but anyway, if you're voting humor, you'll vote with the Leprechaun.
All right, are you ready for the next battle?
I sure am.
All right, so the contestants in this are going to be the Kongamato and the Fresno Nightcrawlers.
Okay.
So the Kongamato is a pterosaur kind of cryptid.
A pterosaur? What does that
So,
mean?
like, think of like a pterodactyl.
Okay.
Like a pterosaur is just the grouping of animals that look like what you think a pterodactyl is.
Okay.
They're not technically dinosaurs. They're their own pre-avian thing. So it's a large pterosaur looking thing, but obviously if it is an actual creature, which lots of people think it is one of those creatures that survived into modern day.
Right.
And it is seen living in semi-tropical regions of Africa. It's seen a lot in Zambia, Congo, and Angola. And it is just a big flying pterodactyl, basically. And its
Okay.
name, Kongamato, means the breaker of boats, and it is known to capsize a lot of the canoes and the boats that the natives use going down the waterway fishing and stuff like that, and people that are on the river get attacked a lot. They say that it's sort of a reddish color, and it's got weird like leathery looking wings, and it's got teeth in its beak, which is creepy.
Yeah, that's
like
very
a goose.
creepy.
I hate it when geese open their mouths. Ugh. Hate it. Anyway,
I learned something new about you every time that we sit down to do this.
y'all, I got attacked by a goose when I was a kid, and that was one of the worst memories of my life. And I just, I don't like geese, and anything that flies with teeth in it. Just nope, no thanks.
Okay.
Anyway, but its wingspan, these things they're reported to be anywhere from 4 to 100 feet across in wingspan. So
Jesus.
that's a big range.
Yeah, I mean, fucking, it was 4 to 100. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
This is a giant scale.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So they're like in the I'd say mid 1800s, there were a lot of explorers in that area of Africa, lots of rich British dudes that went on safari kind of thing. And they had heard about the Kongamato, and they had brought, pictures with them of like pterosaur illustrations and stuff like that. And when they showed him a picture of the pterosaurs, the natives were like, oh yeah, that's a fucking Kongamato. So that led them to believe that, a prehistoric creature like that had survived, and that, these people were actually seeing something that was not a figment of their imagination, but an actual creature.
Okay.
There are lots of historic reports of people being attacked by these
I was
things.
gonna say it's probably just a goose.
It might be just a big ass pissed off goose.
These are
I don't
fucking
know.
aggressive.
They are. And swans. I don't
Yeah.
like them either. But anyway.
Were you attacked by a swan?
No, but they're the meanest birds.
Yeah, they're supposed to be. Yeah.
Apparently, the neighborhood across the street from Jacob's neighborhood, my brother, they have a pond, and they got some decorative swans. And apparently, they get like this letter in the neighborhood thing going around a lot, like, don't approach the swans. They are incredibly aggressive. Don't try to feed the swans. Don't try to befriend the swans. Don't let your kids get out in front of the swans, because they will bite you.
Yeah.
So yeah, swans are evil too.
Life pro tip: don't befriend the swans. They will stab you in the back.
Exactly. But the Kongamatos eat fish most of the time. But sometimes, if they get a little peckish, they'll just eat a person, because why not?
Yeah.
And they're also known to dig up graves and steal human corpses because tasty.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll bet. You ever tried embalming fluid? It's pretty nice.
I mean, I don't think these particular burials were embalmed in a Western sense.
Well, I'm just saying, have you ever tried it?
I have not.
I would change the subject, Leah.
All right, so that was the Kongamato.
All right. Toothy bird.
Toothy bird.
I like
well,
it.
not really a bird, more of a dinosaur, like a pterosaur.
Toothy swar.
All right. So now we're going to be talking about the Fresno Nightcrawlers, and these are one of my favorite cryptids ever.
Cool.
Okay. So they first started getting noticed in Fresno, California, which is obviously why they are called the Fresno Nightcrawlers.
Weird.
But basically what they look like is a giant pair of white pants with a little head on top walking around.
Fucking real.
Yeah.
When you say giant, how big is that?
Okay, not actually giant. They dip, like, I've seen people say that they're really small, or people say that they're really big. But they
so they could be pygmy pants?
They'd be little toddler pants. They could be all grown up man pants. I don't know. But they just look like a pair of long legs and a little bitty sort of round head on top. No arms, no facial features to be distinguished, just walk in pairs of pants. And they're just this weird, strange little shape. But they were first caught on video, like surveillance video in Fresno, California.
So
there's video, and it's freaky. I don't like it.
I think you've told me about this before.
Yeah.
I really think we've talked about this before.
So a lot of people initially thought they were hoaxes, and Sci-Fi Channel has a show called Fact or Faked. I'm not sure if it got canceled, but it used to be a thing. I remember watching it. Mm-hmm. And they analyzed the security footage, and from what they could tell, it was unaltered. That doesn't mean that someone wasn't like in a costume walking down the street freaking people out, but it means that, no one digitally altered the footage itself.
They can tell.
Yes, from what they can tell. And the footage was actually from a videotape, like a VHS, because it first was recorded in like the 90s.
Yeah.
And it was just like the guy who recorded it has not come forward, just doesn't want to be a part of it, was freaked out by it. But in the first video, just two pairs of these little pant creatures just sort of walk through the frame and walk right off. And then they've also caught footage of these same things in the Yosemite National Park.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So in March of 2011, they were putting up, motion capture videos because people had been vandalizing and stealing some property there in the park near some of the, the outposty thingies.
Yeah.
Whatever. I've never been.
Turns out it wasn't people. It was just thieving pants.
Just thieving pants. No. So they set it up to try to catch these hoodlums at their hoodluming. And instead of finding hoodlums, they found creepy walking pants. So they were freaked out a little bit, and once again, two pairs of pants just sort of start walking through this footage and just sort of walk right off. So some people think that they're like a spiritual manifestation of some kind of energy. Some people think that they're aliens. Some people think that they're just like weird pant creatures that like to walk around and hang out.
That are indigenous to Earth.
Yeah. So who knows what these fancy little pants are.
They're fancy pants.
But I love them a lot.
I do too. I mean, have those ever injured anyone or assaulted anyone?
Not that I know of. They are just like, no, they don't seem to have a purpose. They don't do anything nefarious. There aren't any really evidence of them besides the photographic evidence. They don't leave footprints. They don't leave any like crop circles or anything. They just walk on the camera. They walk off the camera. I
think it was super judgmental of you to say that they don't have a purpose.
Well, I mean, they don't have a purpose that can be deciphered from the short amount of footage that we have.
They should just off themselves because they're pets. You get it?
Have you seen the video, though? Can I bring it up for you?
Yeah, please show it to me.
Okay,
please.
I want to show you the Fresno Nightcrawlers.
Y'all can watch it as we do. Leah is currently going to YouTube. I believe she's going to YouTube. You want to do it on the big computer here?
No, I'm just going to look you up a clip.
Okay.
It's pretty standard stuff.
That looks like the KKK.
It's not.
If you ask me. Make that full screen.
Okay.
Double click that fucker.
Oh, there's an ad. Why is there an ad?
Probably because I'm not logged into the correct Google account on there.
Lame. All right, well, so
we pay for YouTube Red, y'all.
We sure
by
do.
The way.
Because, yeah.
So, yeah, y'all should be watching it as we are right now. Otherwise, this is pretty fucking boring.
So, who do you think would win in a fight, though?
Well, are we talking a physical fight?
Any kind of fight.
Because the toothy swar.
The toothy swar.
But if we're doing, like, general cuteness I'm going to go with the pant creatures.
Now, this is the original footage, and it's, like I said,
first
it's
one,
VHS. Right? Yeah, it's very grainy. It's from the 90s, but eventually you will see some pants walking.
Yeah.
Look at them.
I feel like I've seen something like this before.
There's the other set of pants.
Well, I mean, look, that looks really fake to me. Like, I don't think the video's altered, but it looks like it's remote controlled or something. I mean, sorry, but, you know, I don't think they're creatures, period.
Yeah, but they're pants. Look at them. They're walking pants.
I see the pants.
Look at them.
My pants are walking pants, too. They just walk when I walk.
Yeah, well, all right. So those are the Fresno Nightcrawlers.
Yeah. Are there other videos of it?
Yeah, there's a bunch of videos of it.
Okay. Well, I'll look at other ones later.
Some of them have clearly been animated, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
But I mean, some of the more original ones, you can tell they're a little bit more grainy, actual like security digital footage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, I'm sure that was mighty creepy to see.
Right? So you're not expecting anything. You're just looking for vandals or whatever, and all of a sudden, holy fuck, there's walking pants.
Holy fuck, pants.
So my personal opinion is we should go with the pants because they're alien pants.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are aliens and not remote controlled pants of some sort.
Yeah, I think they're alien pants, and they could totally pwn the Kongamato because all they would have to do was slip themselves onto the dinosaur and like walk them wherever they wanted. It's just like,
yeah, they could easily win in a fist fight. I think is what you're saying.
They don't have hands though.
Yeah, they are just legs.
They're just legs. So
and the toothy swar only has wings.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Does it have talons though?
Yeah, it's got the little feet with the grabby claws.
That is what birds have, the little feet.
I like birds from a distance. I think they're beautiful, and I like looking at them, but they scare me a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't like their feet.
Well, I'm sure they don't like your feet either.
I don't like my feet either. It's fine.
We could all get behind that Leah's feet are terrible.
Yeah, I just don't like feet of any sort for the most part. Sorry.
You like Dobby's little feet.
He
gets
doesn't
angry
like me
when
to
we
touch him,
yeah.
though. He bites me if I try to touch his feet.
Our little dog gets so angry when you touch his feet. But he's real cute, though.
He is cute. But he's no Fresno Nightcrawler, so...
He might be.
He might just be an animated pair of pants. Who knows?
Y'all ever heard that, I mean, for lack of a better term, high thought of if we were to put pants on dogs, how would we put them on? Would we put them on where we would consider a waist if they were standing up, so they go on the back feet? Or are they pants on all four legs? Like just the bottom half of the dog?
It would just be the waist pants.
Like a goofy set of pants?
Yeah.
But see, if we're doing it for real, and we're supposed to have them on their legs, they're going bottom half, you know? Like
How
a
about
harness.
we just put him in a onesie and not even have to bother with it?
Yeah. Because he'd shit in it.
I didn't mean like to keep him in it. Ew.
All right, y'all. Well, I think I'm going with the pants on this one, too.
Okay. Well, we don't get to decide, though. So if you want to vote, check out our social media. There will be links up there when this comes out. And like I said, if you want to win a t-shirt, a mug, and some stickers, all you've got to do is vote, and you'll be entered, and that would be awesome. So,
and tell your friends to come vote,
yeah,
too.
Tell your friends to come vote and listen, because that would be friggin' awesome.
They don't necessarily have to listen, but you know,
we'd prefer it.
The preference is you tell your friends to come do it, and they're like, oh, well, I'll check it out. I'll listen to it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah, I'll be a patron. Here's some more booze money. See what we did there, everybody?
Right?
That's how we do it.
Yeah.
We're the deep state.
What?
We fool you into giving us money.
You weren't supposed to tell them that.
Yeah, we're in the Illuminati. We had to sacrifice our first two dogs, but they gave us two that were pretty much identical. So they cloned them. But that was our initiation.
Once again, you're not supposed to tell any of this.
Also, the worst part of it is that they made us have, Steve, our cat. He's such a cock sucker. I hate him so much.
You don't.
But I mean, if we weren't forced by the Illuminati to have him, he would be out on the goddamn street. It's a terrible cat.
I've always wondered why we keep that asshole around.
No, you haven't. You knew. They wondered. All of our listeners.
No.
They wondered.
Y'all, we're not a part of the Illuminati. Steve is a wonderful cat, and our dogs are the original dogs that we've already had.
Nice cover up, Leah.
Yeah.
You did great.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. Share with your friends. Please go vote.
Yeah.
We need you to vote.
And don't forget to send in questions and personal stories for Midweek Minis that comes back in April.
Yes, that would be absolutely fabulous because we're out of personal stories. We're out of questions, and we need both. So email me, y'all.
All right. Well, we will see you later on.
Bye, y'all.